Hello and welcome to Trashy Trashy, where we take a dumpster dive on this week's garbage people and a look at all the trashiest news stories. My name is Erica, and I am your host.
And my name is Cassandra, and I'm your other host. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, good. You know, I finally, before we started recording, I finally started that Lula Rich documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that is some white people.
It is some white people shit. There are women of color in the documentary, but very few and far between.
I must not have gotten to them yet. I've only seen them in the ads, I think, and they're only like one in the ad. But I was like, damn, like all these women look almost the same.
Mm-hmm.
All the women who were retailers, like all have that same just like white woman. And I'm not talking shit on the look. It's a good look, you know, especially for the time. You know, I think we all had those highlights and those barrel curls, but I'm just like, or that A-line haircut. But man, we all had it. It's fine. I had it, but
yeah,
it just felt like I didn't even finish the first episode because I started it late. But like, what a moment in time that fashion.
Yes, the power clashing that they do with the pairing the leggings with the
chambray shirt and like and then like
or chevron.
Yes,
and
the knee-high brown leather boots.
Yes,
and
it is a
scarf.
A captured moment in time. I had a reflective moment in my closet. So I don't know if I talked about this previously, but I hired a closet organizer.
I knew that you did that. I don't know if you talked about it on the show though.
And so I hired a friend, and if you're interested in the LA area and you need someone to just like sit with you and Marie Kondo the shit out of your stuff, I will advertise for this person. DM me if you're interested. But it was like holding a mirror up to my soul. Like, does this clothing serve you anymore? And I'm like, no, that dress that doesn't fit 4 sizes ago serve me anymore, but I want to keep it. Yes, it's out of fashion, and no, it does not fit, but I want to keep it for the memories. And it's like, take a picture of it, you know?
I know. I'm pretty good at getting rid of stuff, especially now that doesn't fit, but I do have one. Maybe I got rid of it when I moved. I can't remember, or it's just like hiding somewhere in my closet within like a jacket, you know, sharing the same hanger. But there was a long time where I couldn't get rid of this one dress that like fit for maybe a week or two in time. Because it was like small when I bought it, and then I dropped the weight to get in it, and then I put the weight back on to get out of it, and I never ever got back to it. And I just kept it, and I kept it, and I kept it because if I felt bitter if anyone else fit into it. If I gave it away and it was expensive and someone else got to enjoy it, that made me bitter.
It's clothing we don't talk about it, but like clothings are emotional. I mean, this was like a 3-hour therapy session of why I can't let go of things.
Yeah.
And I paid for the luxury.
So do you feel better? Like, did you get rid of a lot of stuff?
Like 3 bags worth of stuff.
Wow.
My closet is lighter. My closet is length and color coded.
Ooh.
And yeah, it's nice.
Cool.
Yeah. And we still have a lot to do. We barely got into the drawers. Oh, she's coming back.
Hell yeah.
They're coming back. Yeah.
Why are you trash?
I am trash because I've returned to tan Erica this summer, and I have taken to spray tanning. So if you catch me on the right day, I have a healthy glow on my face, on my body.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do is after I spray tan is I go in normal clothes and then I leave in a robe.
Mm-hmm.
And I left my tanning organization in a robe, not realizing that I hadn't completely closed the loop on the robe. And was basically just like underwear and vag out because it didn't quite. I tied the knot, but then it loosened somehow. And I was just like bare chested, exposed navel, like walked out and then had to walk from my parking garage to my house this way. Like I didn't catch it till I got home. And my partner was like, "What are you doing?"
Oh my God.
And so I went spray tanning last night and he was like, are you gonna wear clothes afterwards? And I was like, yes, I will.
When I would spray tan, I had like this big maxi dress that I would put on after. And I remember I got invited like to go out after a spray tan session. And I was like, I can't really change. And they're like, well, what are you wearing? And I sent a quick picture. Like, I was like, I just got a tan. Like, and they're like, oh my God, that dress is pretty. Cause it was like a deep blue, but I was like, yeah, okay, fuck it. Like, whatever. But I was like full blown naked under that thing. Like, no bra, no panty. I mean, it was like a floor length dress, but like, and I was, I guess in my mid 20s, but like, it wasn't really like, I wanted to go out and do karaoke, and I did karaoke like dressed so scantily. Something sluttier about that than wearing like a short dress where you can't even bend over in it, you know?
Yeah. Yes.
This is one thing and I'm naked.
Yeah. I always think to wear cute underwear or just like the non-raggedy underwear when I run errands because I always picture like if I'm in a bank and it gets robbed and they're like everybody stripped down to your underwear. Mm-hmm. Like I can't handle the pressure of A, being robbed, and then B, being like, these are sentimental underwear.
Uh-huh. Absolutely. I think about the same thing all the time. Like if I'm in a hostage situation, I have to get down to my underwear. I want to feel comfortable and I want to feel sexy. I want to feel good.
Mm-hmm. I want to feel good. Yeah.
It's not about just looking good. You want to feel good when you're in that hostage situation.
Why are you trash this week?
I have a historical trash, and I don't know what I say on this podcast that makes me look good. So this definitely is not going to help. But I remember when I lived in Colorado, there was like a moment in time where my mom and I lived in the house next door to her like best friend and their 3 kids who like, I grew up with them. Like, so they were like family to me. And this whole it wasn't a cul-de-sac, but it was kind of like just like a special turn, in the road that only had houses on it. And there was so many kids and like we were out every day. Like, I think that's why my mom wanted to move there when like this place came up, I think for rent, which the people who were renting it were like this couple who like really wanted to have kids but couldn't, which was something that I seemingly understood when I was like 10. I was like, oh yeah, they want to have kids, but they can't. You're like, and I would like, was like open with that fact to people as a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, John and Dee, yeah, they want to have kids, but they can't. That's why they like when we go over there, because they wish they had kids. And we're kids. But there was a girl at the end of the block who I can't remember her name, but I think it was Hillary, so I'm going to call her Hillary. And I could have given her a fake name, but I didn't. And she was my exact age. And I was a brunette and she was a blonde, and we just didn't get along. Like I swear to every single kid on this fucking block was friends. There was like literally like 15 kids on this one block, but me and her just didn't get along. We didn't hang out. Like I hung out with her brother. I hung out with her neighbors, whatever. And it was just like this one, like little girls. It's like an unspoken thing of like when little girls just don't like each other for no fucking reason. And then one day, Hillary had a stroke, which was crazy. Like they were like, oh, she had a really bad headache and it was the worst headache she'd ever had. And then all of a sudden they took her to the hospital. She was having a stroke. So, I mean, like this is a 10, 11-year-old girl. Like that's very fucking scary. Luckily, she was okay.
Oh, thank God.
So after Hillary had a stroke, I was like, it's time to let bygones be bygones and really try to make friends with Hillary. After all, she had a stroke. And so I tried to hang out with her. And we didn't know each other. We just didn't like each other. And we were trying, I don't know why we were making this weird 10-year-old small talk, but it was like, what kind of chocolate do you like? And she's like, I like dark chocolate. And I was like, oh, I like milk chocolate. Well, okay. Black or white? I like white. Oh, well, I like black. Like, just like little things like this. And where I was like, finally, by the end of it, I was like, I can't do it. We are opposite in every way. I can't do it. I don't care if she had a stroke. She's not my friend. I did everything I possibly could. I can't make amends. I don't know what else you want me to say. Oh, like I like 4th of July. Well, I like Christmas. Damn it. So just being kids I think kids are all kind of trash.
Yeah. And those were the things that like mattered then.
Oh my God, yes. I was like appalled when she was like, I like dark chocolate. I'm like, what the
what a sophisticated palate for a 10-year-old.
Shit. I'm like, do you think you're better than me? Like, what's
I don't think I had dark chocolate until I was in college. Like that was like exotic.
Yeah, I was like, I couldn't fathom. To me, I was like, dark chocolate was grown-up chocolate, and grown-up chocolate was gross. So it was like, what? Yeah. So anyway, I don't remember all the other things. I just know for a fact that chocolate one was one of them. And I you know what? I tried. I know she got sick. I tried to be a good Samaritan, the olive branch, and I just couldn't do it.
I mean, you did your best, and you tried to extend the olive branch. I don't know what to say. I mean, she liked fucking 4th of July. Come on.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. Kids are so dumb. I remember I had this joke that I would tell at the water park where I tried to make friends.
Mm-hmm.
And, at like 10, 12, you're like, I look banging in my one-piece swimsuit or my bikini. Like, I'm hot to trot. I probably looked like an egg with legs.
Okay.
But I felt banging, and I was making friends with these older girls. And that was always my downfall, was I tried to make friends with older people. And so then I tried to seem cool and tried to be funny. And I had this water park joke that I would tell about a baby swimming in pee. I can't remember the semantics or the logistics of it, but it was like a song was the punchline. Like, I was swimming in pee and now you're stuck with me. And they were like, oh, this girl's the tits. Like, listen to that joke. And then obviously I had nothing to follow it up with or no life experiences. And I don't know why these like 15-year-olds wanted to hang out with me, but we were. Anyway, kids are wild, man.
That joke must have been a killer, whatever it was.
Oh, it was the joke. It was a song punchline.
Yeah.
Like, I was TikTok before TikTok.
Absolutely. I say it all the time. Erica Curry was TikTok before TikTok.
Oh my God. Let's get into our first story.
Okay.
From a legitimate news source. From NPR.org. Heard of it?
Yeah. Ever heard of it?
For $84,000, an artist returned 2 blank canvases titled Take the Money and Run.
The money was supposed to be used to create modern art, and it was, but not in the way that a Danish museum expected it, when it gave an artist the equivalent of $84,000, and in return, it received 2 empty canvases. This is pretty funny.
I think it's pretty brilliant. And it also says something about the art world. Like, when somebody's like, oh, it's a forgery, but I'm like, but it's just as pretty as the other painting.
Yeah.
What art is so fucking like subjective and weird, and like you paint just like a circle on a canvas and it goes for like $100,000, and I'm like, well, I did that when I was like 6 and it went on the fridge.
Yeah.
I love art. Like, I love going to museums. I'm not like above it, but it's so subjective and it's so insane to me. Anyway, the artist, Jan Honning, says the blank canvases make up a new work of art entitled Take the Money and Run that he calls a commentary on poor wages. One thing it's not, he says, is theft.
I mean, I don't know. I get it. Like, maybe this museum just doesn't get it. Like, it's called Take the Money and Run. So he took the money and he ran, and you don't get art in return for it. I mean, that's the gag. That's the art.
I think the title alone is art.
Like, people are going to walk by that and think it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's provoking laughter and questions from patrons of the art gallery in the museum.
Yeah.
The CEO of Kunsted, Lassie Anderson, said in an email to NPR that it made him laugh when he saw it.
I mean, and look, and the museum is still displaying it, even though they're trying to get their money back.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's cool.
I'm down. Yeah, I say not trashy. I vote not trashy.
Yeah, I vote treasure.
Treasure.
Wow.
Treasure.
Treasure. You want to know about another person who was looking for treasure? I don't fucking know. Damn it.
No, say it proud.
All right, fine. Speaking of treasure hunts,
missing drunk man accidentally joined search party for himself.
This is according to Newsweek.com. In a recent incident of intoxication, a man in Turkey decided to join a search party for someone who had been reported missing. He, however, didn't realize that he was the missing person in question.
Oh, man. 50-year-old Mayhan Maltu has been drinking with friends on Tuesday, reported Vice magazine, when he wandered into a nearby forest. When he didn't come back, his friends grew concerned and reporting him missing to authorities. As news of the missing man spread, volunteers from different neighborhoods joined the authorities and aided in a rescue mission. Among them was Maltu, who apparently not realized that the subject of the search was himself.
He said he asked someone in the search party and say, "Who are we looking for?" And then they said, "We're looking for Maltu." And he said, "Oh, I am here."
Found me. You win the prize.
It's so I started reading what the fuck is this stupid book called? They made it into a series. I think it's Sharp Objects Everywhere or something like that, or Sharp Objects. And
yeah, with Amy Adams.
Yeah.
Right? No.
Yeah. So I started reading the book. I'm not too far into it because it's really hard to get me to read books, but I think that's obvious. And there's like it starts with like kind of a search party thing of people going through the forests, and like, am I just too like big city slickin' to like believe that that's real? Like, did people actually do that?
For missing people, yeah. Like what they'll do is I've seen it on the television and the movies, so it must be real. But they'll walk, like a foot apart from each other and just sweep looking for evidence and people.
But like, by joining that, you are making an agreement to yourself that you might see a dead body.
Yeah, these people are heroes.
Yeah, you're right.
I think
it's just scary to me. I'm like, I don't want to, like, I think it's important, but like, I don't want to do it. It's scary.
It is scary. It is scary. You know what else is scary?
Too many clowns?
A fucking clown and just one clown. A group of clowns, one clown. I have chlorophobia, which is like the pathological fear of clowns.
Do you really?
Yes. I one time made Winston get out of bed and open closet doors to confirm there was not a clown inside of them.
Oh my God. My grandma like straight up had a clown room. Like her guest room was all day, all clowns, like all the clowns. And so she doesn't have it anymore, but like my mom has a few of her clown stuff, and I don't have any. Oh no, Taylor has a picture. We have a picture of a clown up in our in our condo.
Why?
Because
I can never go there.
It makes me laugh. It's like a clown that's frowning, and I always like identify with like that Pagliacci story of the sad clown.
The sad clown. I went to a children's dentist and I was seated. You know, you lay back and they had a clown mural in the room, and I had to move rooms. I was 26.
Oh, wait, you were at a children's dentist?
They had payment plans, and they were really cool about I didn't have any money. And so they let me pay in payment plans, but we had to swap rooms with another patient because they had like clowns hanging down. Anyway.
Oh my God.
All of this is to say there is a clown shortage in Northern Ireland.
This is coming to us from BBC.com. According to David Duffy, co-owner of Duffy Circus, he's trying to find people in Northern Ireland to become clowns.
There's a lot more to being a clown than just putting on a big red nose and a big baggy pair of pants.
The COVID-19 pandemic has caused a shortage of the performers because, as we all know, being a clown gives you a higher chance of contracting COVID. And as many return to their home countries after the first lockdown, that's why they lost the clowns. Sorry, I read that stupid. They lost clowns because all the clowns went home.
Oh, now that sounds like an old folk song. Like the clowns went home today.
That was the year when the clowns went home.
That's a better song. I should have let you take the lead on that.
No. I wouldn't have gotten there without you.
What makes a good clown? The article asks. According to Nolene Fries Newman, professionally known as Silly Tilly, someone who's willing to make themselves vulnerable.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go on a limb because, we know clowns, like people who are technically who identify as clowns, like in their performance.
Yes, LA is overrun, and to benefit. Like I very much enjoy the act of clowning.
I was gonna say, I feel like haven't you done clowning before?
I took a clowning class, and I was objectively terrible at it.
Well, so all that is to say, I don't totally understand why clowns in general are a children's medium, because all the clowning that I've ever seen and experienced has been dark and uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I don't mind, I guess, a clown that doesn't have the full paint on, and if you infuse it with I don't mind a clown that infuses it with magic, because I hate magic so much that it cancels out my hatred of the clown.
Wow.
If they're pulling scarves out of their mouths or doing a magic trick, I'm like, God, I hate magic.
Why do you hate magic?
Because I feel like I am intelligent enough to understand how they do the tricks, and I can't figure out how they do the tricks, and it makes me furious.
Why can't you just let them do the tricks and not you take solace in the fact of these people aren't actually magic. There is a way that they're doing them. I can't figure it out or see it right now, but good for them for doing all this work and practicing these skills for themselves.
Because I'm smarter than that, Cassandra. I'm smarter.
Okay. Sorry.
It's okay. I feel like I should be able to figure out how they're doing it, because magic isn't real, and it just drives me up the wall.
I would say that magic is real because we met each other.
Oh, snap! That's magic with a K. That's magic.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, the witch's magic.
Oh, I see. Okay. Do you know who wasn't very smart?
The man in our next story, for sure.
This is coming to us from foxnews.com. A Missouri man selling a catalytic converter. That's the thing that gets stolen out of cars all the time now. Or always. I don't know. Trying to sell a catalytic converter online. Forgets to hide meth. Whoops.
Whoopsie. A Missouri man trying to sell a catalytic converter online has been arrested after a huge stash of meth and a syringe were spotted in the background of the photo he used for the advertisement.
James Kurtz, 38, taken into custody after posting that photo on Facebook Marketplace. His bag of meth and drug paraphernalia were clearly visible on the coffee table behind the exhaust emission device he was trying to get rid of.
Stone County Sheriff Doug Rader said someone tipped them off to the drug stash as soon as Kurtz posted the ad on Facebook.
Apparently, how do they say it in Missouri?
It's like a mix between Kansas and Oklahoma accents. Missouri.
Okay.
Like, they've got the Ozark in Missouri, so it can be very, like, apparently he must have been under the influence because in the background of his picture he posted, he left a huge bag of meth and a syringe on the coffee table.
Wow. That was good.
Thank you. I work on my regional accents.
It's important. It's an important skill.
So just a note to everyone out there, if you're going to be selling items on social media, make sure that your drugs are not in the background.
I mean, like, am I crazy to think that if you're buying a catalytic converter on social media that you're probably buying someone's stolen catalytic converter anyways?
Oh, 100%. Like, how is that not, like, part of the article?
Yeah, like the Venn diagram for, like, someone selling a catalytic converter and someone having a bag of meth, like, I feel like a lot of it is a lot of crossover,
The Venn diagram is just a circle.
It's just a circle, I think. That if you see a catalytic converter, you might want to tell the cops anyways and just, like, I don't know.
So when the cops searched Ket's home, they found 48 grams of meth and a handgun he wasn't legally allowed to own. But this is America. How am I not allowed to own a handgun?
That doesn't make any damn sense.
I don't see the NRA sticking up for this guy.
I don't know if the NRA is around anymore.
Oh, they are.
Went bankrupt as fuck, didn't they?
Oh, no. I think they're still alive and well and protecting our Second Amendment rights.
My mom is getting into, Mama Trash Can is getting into, I don't know what exactly this is, like long distance shooting. Like, I think my mom is, like, training to be a sniper or something. I have no fucking idea what she's doing.
Great.
Just what we need. Our first line of defense is the army, and then we have all of our 70-year-old snipers up in the windows.
It's like the infantry, the cavalry, and then the snipers of, like, moms on Facebook in the back. And they're slow to shoot because they're on Facebook.
I mean, honestly, if I could think of the one reason why my mom would miss a fucking shot, it's because her Apple Watch started vibrating and she needed to see who was texting her. I fucking guarantee it.
Time to close the rings.
Anyways, so she started learning how to do this, and I didn't know that she did until she sent me a picture of her with, like, a gash on her eye, being like, oh, the scope went back and hit me, and everyone was laughing and saying that it was a initiation because I guess it happens to everybody. Anyways, love you. And I'm like, what? And then I talked to her yesterday, and she said that now she has, from the dollar store, she bought an eye patch, for her other eye that isn't I hope the one that's not being, looking down the scope. And then she put a big googly eye on it because my mom is my mom.
That's some clone shit.
Yeah, so she just looks like a big, like, craft pirate, like, sniper now is, like, her energy.
Same energy, but my dad FaceTimed me while riding a motorcycle the other day.
No. Damn it.
Without a helmet on, and I was like, no, hang up immediately. Like, you cannot be FaceTiming while riding a motorcycle.
What happens? Like, you go from being, like, a kid and feeling invincible, and then you become like this, like from like 27 to probably your 50s, where all I do is fear death. Like I don't even want to get in the ocean. And then all of a sudden you become like 60s, 70s, whatever, and beyond. And then all of a sudden that fearlessness and comes back in like this major way.
Yeah, no holds barred. Like you're
That's
just
fucking bananas. FaceTime while, oh my god. Ugh. Anyways,
Let's get into our next story, which is pretty bananas itself from the
yeah,
New
it's
York
kind of the same energy in a way.
yeah, from the New York Post.com.
Indian passenger caught smuggling gold up his butt in weird crime trend.
He was sitting on a gold mine.
A man was busted smuggling nearly 2 pounds of gold paste in his rectum at an airport in India. One of at least 3 cases of people stuffing the precious metal up their rumps in the region in the past year, according to reports. Gold paste? What that?
I guess a paste made of gold. The officers noticed suspicious movements and began to question him while at airport security.
So they took him to the medical exam room for an x-ray and found the treasure of $56,000 US buried in his colon. Whoa.
Oh,
I
I don't know that much about anatomy because surprise, we are also not lawyers, barely journalists, but certainly not doctors.
no, not doctors.
Buried in his colon. He confessed to carrying 4 gold pouches and said the glittering goods didn't belong to him. He told the UK Independent newspaper.
I mean, I don't know. This kind of feels like a finders keepers situation.
Through the airport security.
If it's up your ass, it's your gold. You know.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's what I'm saying. I just would say that, yeah, I would, if I had to put it at my butt, I would be like, well, this is mine now, right?
Well, so what they're doing is they're smuggling them in to avoid paying taxes on them, the authorities have said.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Criminals are boning up on anatomy to get creative, experts have said.
There was another person, they keep saying that it was part of a trend, but when I think of a trend, I think of a TikTok trend. I don't think of like a trend of like how people are avoiding paying taxes. But there was a guy with 2 pounds of gold bullion up his butt in October.
And there was a couple who also recently busted in the same airport with a total of 6.5 pounds of gold paste hidden in an unspecified body part, authorities said.
Unspecified?
Was it the vagina?
It's gotta be, right? I mean,
the vagine.
Yeah, she had 6.5, and that's to show that women are better than men in a certain way, because they can only fit 2 pounds of gold up their butt, but we can fit almost 7 pounds up our vaginas.
Yeah, I mean, think about like a baby. Like if you could get it into the uterus, you could have up to 9 pounds up in there.
Yeah, definitely would die.
Oh,
probably
100%. We do not recommend it. Not doctors, not lawyers.
not wellness experts. I got nothing.
We barely functioning adults.
I would say the closest thing we are is to clowns.
Oh, closer to clowns. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Even though I cried my way through the clowning class and was terrible at it, I'm closer to a clown than a lawyer.
You know who is closer to? Oh, fuck it.
You know who needed a lawyer?
Thank you. Damn it. It's like I knew it was there, and then like I couldn't.
You were circling it. You would have gotten there.
Thank you.
According to WKBN.com, dip in Boardman pool in charges against Youngstown man.
So in Boardman, Ohio, we're in Ohio, baby.
Home of the Buckeyes.
A dip into a homeowner's pool didn't end well for this man. There was a stranger swimming in the pool when the owner of the house wasn't there. And, this happened at 9:12 p.m.
What are you doing being out at 9:12 p.m.? You should be home and in bed by then.
Ooh, especially in Ohio.
Especially in Ohio.
Family.
What is there to do? Officers never saw the man, but he was later identified as 41-year-old Jason Kuzan in the water, but the cement around the pool was wet and found Kuzan lying under a swing in the yard, according to the police report.
So the police said that Kuzan told them that he had just been to church and decided to jump in the pool to complete God's work. Wow. So this guy was like, I gotta get baptized quick.
I gotta baptize myself.
Yeah.
This soul ain't gonna save itself. Did you ever go to like church camp growing up?
Nope.
Okay, so I used to go to this church camp called Falls Creek, and I've never been baptized. Surprise.
Me neither. Surprise.
Surprise. But I went to Falls Creek, which was this giant church camp in Oklahoma, and they would do like group baptisms, and I like have never felt compelled to do it except for the attention that it would get me at Falls Creek, because everybody was like clapping and cheering and hooping, and you got your name announced, and it was like, and you were all wet and it was hot, and I was like, should I get baptized just so I can get in the pool? Because you had to wear like a t-shirt to cover up your swimsuit because of modesty. I'm like, we're 12. Like, what are we talking about? But anyway, I that's the only time I've ever kind of been like, I should go ahead and get baptized today just so I can get all this attention.
I didn't get baptized when I was a kid, but all my other cousins did. And if I'm remembering the reasoning right, it was because my mom didn't want me to get baptized Catholic because she was Christian, and she wanted me to be able to choose. That was her reasoning. What ended up happening is a different story, but I basically, like, my little cousins would be telling me like, oh, bummer about not getting baptized, bro. Bummer about missing that first communion. Like, it's gonna suck because you're going to hell because you didn't get this done. Like, I mean, they're kids. We were talking about how kids are dog shit. Like, we were all kids, and so they're like, ooh, that's a bummer. That is a real big bummer because if you die tomorrow, you are right down to hell. And so that kind of carried on for a while. If I like had like going into around when I was up until 12 or 13, where I was like, fuck, I need to get this done because I'm going to go to hell if I don't get baptized. And so I was like, I didn't even really care about subscribing to a religion or anything like that. I just wanted to get baptized so that I could do it. But then it was like, I was getting older and older, and I was like, it's going to be so weird. And I guess like you can do it. I don't know. It was weird. I never did get it, but that was the only time I ever considered it. I was like, fuck, I got to get this crossed off my list. Like, mow the lawn, get baptized so you don't go to hell, and then play Super Smash Brothers.
There's a part in the New Testament where basically God could forgive even the devil and admit him into heaven. He just wants us to choose him over and over again. And that just sounds like a very abusive relationship to me.
Girl, that Old Testament God sounded like he was on some petty fucking shit all day long.
I don't blame him because he was like a teenage God. Like he was new. Like he'd been like into existence. This was his youth. And he was like, well, yeah, that dude should totally kill his son to prove he loves me. And then he was like, just kidding at the last minute. Like he totally was like a teenager in the Old Testament. And then I think he kind of wised up a little bit and became an adult in the New Testament.
The song "Our God is an Awesome God" is coming to mind right now, but it's changing the lyrics. Of, our God is a toxic God. But I know that that's a spicy thing.
That's a spicy thing. I wish he would. I wish that this having to choose him wasn't a process.
I remember growing up and the whole spiel, because we really didn't go to church. We had moments where we went to church more often than not, but like it wasn't frequent. And I remember like the whole bag was like, you're good as long as you accept Jesus Christ as your personal savior.
Right.
That's all you got to do in this world.
Yeah.
Don't ask questions.
Mm-mm.
but just do this part,
Mm-hmm.
good to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's a vibe. There's probably more to it.
I don't know. Anyway, let's get into our next story. This has been
No, let's
God.
keep talking about religion.
Yeah, this has been God Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Um,
I'm sorry for calling God toxic. It's just what came to my mind.
and
For
like
listeners.
the notes of that song, you sang it beautifully.
Thank you. Fuck, I sing it often. It gets stuck in my head a lot.
There's a TikTok going around, and it's that I am a CHRISTIAN, but it's with like a techno beat underneath it, and it's like the caption is like me being gay at youth camp, and it's like this
Oh my
dude just like completely dancing to the I am a CHRIS. Anyway, it's a great TikTok. We'll post it on our social media, which is Trashy Trashy Pod on Instagram and on Twitter.
As if you didn't know.
We don't have Facebook, but the people in our next story evidently do. Let's get into it from cityam.com.
Protesters with inflatable breasts gather outside Facebook's London office over nipple images.
The group said its aim is to enable medical tattoo artists and breast cancer survivors to freely post images of their experience and areola or nipple tattoos, which they claim have previously led to pictures being removed and accounts being blocked.
Facebook's rules do not allow nudity. It does allow images of female breasts that include a nipple in some instances, including those depicting acts of protest, women actively engaged in breastfeeding and post-mastectomy scarring. But the protesters are urging Facebook to improve its algorithms and stop removing images posted by post-mastectomy patients who have areola tattoos.
The social network acknowledged that its technology and content reviewers had, in some instances, failed to spot the difference between images posted of tattoos and those showing nudity, and encouraged users to clearly state when the tattoo was being shown.
So this is kind of nice. Like, you know, like I agree that we should like free the nipple a little bit. And if it is a slippery slope of there being some porno on Facebook, like, what do you want us to say? You know, but this seems like an important thing to have on there.
Yeah, Facebook is the trashy entity in this story. If you're trying to connect the dots and be like, how is this story trashy?
It's Facebook.
It's Facebook who owns Instagram.
Yo, I was on Etsy this morning because it is now October, which means I have to start Christmas shopping. And I was just like looking at jewelry. Because I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I dropped a hint to my partner that I'm in the market for a necklace, which means I need to send him a lot of links. Anyways, I'm looking at jewelry, just like the general jewelry on Etsy. Oh my God, there's a lot of fake nipple piercings. And like, you can show full boob. I literally was like, whoa, that is a boob in my face for these nipple rings or fake nipple rings.
Tits out for Harambe on Etsy, it sounds like.
It was wild. And like these things where like you basically like put it this like metal circle around your nipple and then it looks like your nipple's pierced. Seems more painful than just getting your nipple pierced.
Yeah. That would leave me disgruntled.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind. It's not like it bothered me to see boobs on Etsy. I was just like taken aback by it as a prude American. You know, when I see boobs on websites, I'm like, can they do that?
You guys are allowed? Like, are for real? Like, your parents let you do this for real?
Oh, like I was just looking for jewelry. Like I was looking for a necklace, and then all of a sudden it was like boobs, 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 boobs. Like a lot of sellers.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty tight, and they did look real. Like the boobs were real, but like the piercings looked real.
Mm-hmm.
In case anyone's curious.
Google Netsy or Google necklaces on Etsy and you'll see some titties. Pro tip for our under 18 crowd that listens.
They better not.
Also, turn this off and go talk to your parents about literally anything if you are under 18.
If you're over 18, it's time to stop talking to your parents about everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This next story has me wanting to talk to my parents about how nope, I got nothing.
Oh man, I really wanted to see you land it. I felt like I was like when you're watching the Olympics and the person's doing like the bars back and forth and you're just kind of holding your breath. That's how I felt listening to that just now.
Sometimes I got it, sometimes I don't. From the
Wait.
dailymail.co/UK. You got it?
No, I don't have it. According to the dailymail.co.uk, moment disgruntled golfer wearing baklava pours weed killer on green, causing 16,000 euro of damage as he took revenge after being banned from club in row with owners. Now, do you know what any of that means?
I believe it's balaclava.
What does that mean?
Let's play the Google game. Let's play the Google game.
Hey, yay, yay.
Because I don't know.
Balaclava looks like it's like a ski mask.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a ski mask basically.
Okay, so a disgruntled 55-year-old golfer wearing a ski mask pours weed killer on green, causing about let's go $17,000 US of damage because he was taking revenge after being banned from the club in a fight with the owners. I think I translated it to American.
To American. So us dum-dums. Us continental dum-dums can understand.
It's like I read the story, but as I was reading the headline, I was like, the fuck am I saying? I wasn't having the reading comprehension that I needed in order to continue.
Glenn Newton, 55, was furious after losing his membership at Wooley Park Golf Club near Wakefield, West Yorkshire.
So the former minor, I'm going to say that that's golfer, the former golfer donned a balaclava, ski mask, and launched a campaign of sabotage on the grass.
And the picture, which will be posted at Trashy Trashy Pod on Instagram and Twitter, is gnarly. But he was caught red-handed by the course's owners.
I mean, it's kind of brilliant, but at the same time, like, I don't know, like, there's probably better ways to trash a country club, right? Like, can't you just, like, tell your other rich friends that it sucks there?
Yeah, like hurt him in the pocketbooks. But it costs damage to the green. I would show up at one of the country club weddings and give a toast. That's what I would do. And I would ruin someone else's enjoyment and then make all those members quit because I was the drunken, disgruntled guest, you know?
I mean, were you invited to said wedding or you're crashing it?
Crashing.
Wow. Look, I guess that, what's the phrase I'm looking for where it's like you can't do a good thing without hurting some people in the process? Oh, whatever. I'm just saying
you're going to crack a few eggs to make an omelet.
Bingo. You got to crack a few eggs to make that wedding is the eggs that you're cracking. They didn't do anything. They didn't kick you out.
But you got to make the omelet.
Absolutely.
Newton was given a 3-month jail term, suspended for 12 months, and was ordered to pay a £10,000 compensation.
He had been a member with us for 6 or 7 years, and he was okay at first, but then he started to upset other club members and staff. He was difficult and bullying.
Don't be a bully. I've said it once. I'll say it again. Don't be a bully.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else you shouldn't do?
What?
According to sanfrancisco.cbslocal.com, you should not start a fire, the fawn fire, by boiling bear urine to drink.
Okay.
That's a tall order. I know how you love your bear urine.
Yeah, I just think it's fucked up, you know, that like I have to stop drinking bear urine because of global warming. Okay.
According to court documents, the Bay Area woman accused of starting the fawn fire in Shasta County last week was attempting to boil bear urine so she could drink it when she allegedly set off the destructive blaze.
No, I don't think that she knew it was bear urine. I think that she thought it was just water from a puddle, which leads me to ask, how much bear urine was there if she thought it was a puddle?
Yeah, can you quantify into ounces or quarts how much bear urine there was?
I mean, like, this is like just woke up from hibernation, like Austin Powers bear urine, you know? Like, we're just like so much pee. You know what? Let's just Google this. How much do bears pee? The first thing that came up from Google is, do bears like human urine? I guess that they don't really pee a lot. So I don't know about this lady.
She became thirsty when she was hiking to Canada on September 22nd and found the puddle in a dry creek bed. She tried to filter the water with a tea bag, police said. And when that didn't work, she attempted to make fire to boil the water. She stated it was too wet for the fire to start. She drank the water anyway and continued walking uphill from the creek bed.
Girl. So she got stuck in a brush later when she called the fire department, and she was evaluated for dehydration. And then she was found with CO2 cartridges, a cigarette lighter, and a white item containing a green leafy substance. Sounds like pot.
Sounds like pot.
This is why I don't got time for people who like live in California. They're like, I'm going to hike to Canada. What?
Bitch.
You're going to hike to Canada? Why?
I don't get, again, I've said it before, and congratulations, but you get a medal when you run a marathon. Like, you know, the first dude that ran a marathon, he died.
Really?
Yeah, Marathon was a messenger, and he ran the 26.2 miles from, like, I'm making this up, but from, like, Sparta to Athens or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then he delivered the message and then fucking collapsed.
Huh.
Humans aren't meant to do hiking to Canada or run marathons. I'm sorry, I'm coming for you, marathon runners.
Get a job.
Yeah, get a fucking job, man. Who's got the time?
Yeah.
Certainly not I. I can barely make it to Runyon.
I didn't realize that the marathons were all just this big memorial for like this one guy.
Yeah, for marathon. Can you believe?
I can't. On Monday, Governor Gavin Newsom, not recalled Governor Gavin Newsom, proclaimed a state of emergency for Shasta County. I mean, there's always fires up there. It's fucked up. Yeah. It sucks for them. So it's destroyed 144 homes so far. It's sad. Don't drink the bear urine. Don't hike from Canada. I guess that's really like the story here is like, if you, like, we know the breakup sucked, but like dye your fucking hair or something. Like don't hike to Canada. I'm just guessing.
Get back together with your girl band you started in high school.
Go eat, pray, love across Europe. Don't hike to Canada.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Cass, are you ready?
I think so.
All right. Well,
I'm ready. I was fucking lying.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay, you're ready. Okay. Yeah. It's time for the dumpster fire of the week.
Coming to us from clickondetroit.com, which makes me really want to be a newscaster in Detroit. Click on Detroit. It's me, because I don't know what they say. I'm making shit up. A woman reports fake shooting in hopes that Troy police wouldn't arrest her boyfriend during a traffic stop.
30-year-old woman, Madison Heights. Oh, a 30-year-old Madison Heights woman charged. So she called 911 and reported a fake shooting in hope that the Troy officers would respond to the more serious crime and not arrest her boyfriend during a traffic stop, authorities say. The Troy police said they were called at 8:34 p.m. on September 19th to the Courtyard Marriott, Detroit, Troy, which is 1525 East Maple Road.
So the 911 caller claimed that she heard 2 gunshots inside the hotel on the second floor. The police got there. They realized that there was no gunshots and that they learned that the woman who made the 911 call was a passenger in a vehicle that had been pulled over. Wow. So they got pulled over and she was like, watch this, and just did it really fast.
I'll fix this. Yeah.
Okay. So I saw a meme or some shit like that. I saw like some meme of like a Twitter conversation, and it was basically like this guy who said that he got pulled over in Detroit and that some like anonymous woman pulled up close, like next to the cops and the guy who were pulled over, and said, "Hey, someone just got shot down the street," or like 2 blocks away. And then she just took off. And then the cops left. And then the woman came back. And then the woman came back and was like, and the guy was like, hey, what's going on? And the woman's like, that's Detroit, baby. And then like left for real. And he was like, oh my God, that woman saved me from a traffic ticket. I wonder if that meme or GIF or whatever was stolen from this story and that this is the true story.
Yeah, or that TikTok inspired this. I mean, what did she think was going to happen? I mean, was he like carrying drugs or meth or, you know what I mean? Like, were there guns in the car? Like, what would make you escalate to this?
I don't know. I mean, there may have just also been like an inherent, like, we don't know anything about these people. Like, there's an inherent fear of the police for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So there may have been an element of that. Or it's like when you don't want to go to work and the thought crosses your mind to call in a bomb threat. You can't do it. You shouldn't do it. Absolutely not. They will track your phone number as they did with this woman. But like, we're all paying taxes on these guys. Like, don't send them to a fucking hotel looking for gunshots. Like, ugh.
Well, the woman was arrested and charged with falsely summoning a police officer.
Also, like, what if like you make that 911 call and then like other cops go, but the ones who are pulling you over, like their little and like walkies go off and they're like, yeah, we'll be there in a second. We're busy. Oh, and then like you just get different cops.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just too risky.
I feel as if she didn't think this all the way through.
I don't think she did either.
My goodness.
Don't do it. Don't call 911 unless you need 911.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Cass, are you hoarding anything this week?
I am hoarding Squid Game.
Yes! Yes! Me too!
You're hoarding it also?
Yes!
Bitch! So I'm 2 episodes in. This is a Korean show on Netflix. It's like the number 1 thing in the United States right now on Netflix. And it's good, man. It's fucked up. It's good.
Imagine Black Mirror meets Battle Royale or The Hunger Games.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all I have to say. Like, imagine those 2 things had a baby. I'm on episode like 7 or 8. Like, we are pretty far into the series, so no spoilers for Cass. But these, the basic plot is these people have been summoned to play a series of games.
These people who are all individually very, very, very much in debt. Like, yes. For various reasons. So like the main character that you follow, at least in the beginning, is someone who has a gambling addiction. But you find out that everyone is in debt in their own way, like a lot of debt. And so they all get offered an opportunity to play this game. When they get to the game, they realize that this game is like scary and fucked up. But like the amount of money that they're being offered is kind of like
ludicrous.
It's too much to turn down. Like, yeah. The risk is almost worth the reward. So yeah, definitely worth a watch. They're like hour-long episodes and they're all in Korean.
I recommend reading it with the subtitles rather than the English dub. I've heard the English dub is pretty sloppy.
Yeah, I kind of was wondering which to do when we started it yesterday. We ended up going with the subtitles and just watching it in the normal Korean, but I almost did the dub just because I was like kind of I had to do work, you know, but then I was like, you know what, fuck this. It's fucking 9:00 at night. Like, I'm done working. So the only reason I was going to put the English dub on was to give me an excuse to look at my phone to check work emails. I was like, no, you have to just watch it with the subtitles. So it's really good. That's crazy. We're both hoarding it. Cool.
Cool. Are you throwing anything away?
Yes. And look, it's only going to apply to me, whatever. I'm throwing away how hard it's going to be to do my hair later.
Oh,
like, I just like, oh God. You know, I'm not supposed to use heat on my hair anymore because, well, I guess I'm not supposed to use heat on my hair ever, but I got like into like straightening my hair with a curly iron or with a straightener. And my hairstylist was like, bitch, are you fucking kidding me? And I'm not going to plug my hairstylist this episode because she's not taking any new clients. I bet you wish. But So we're going to this Oktoberfest thing later that's like held by a couple of my partner's friends. Well, I would venture to say are my friends too now. But it's kind of like it's close to Halloween, so there's a Halloween element to this party. It's not a costume party. We've been told explicitly it's not a costume party. But I'm gonna wear like my kind of like my scary shirt that has like flat like dead roses and bats on it, and I bought some kind of cute little green hair extension clip-ins. And I feel like if I execute it right, it's going to look awesome. It's just going to take so much fucking effort because like they're too long for my hair and they're synthetic. So I can't curl them with a curling iron. And so then I'm like, do I wear my hair straight? But then I can't use a hair straightener on my hair because it's bad for my ends. It's like so annoying, but like I've already kind of opened up the hair to look at it. So I can't return it. And I'm not ready to just, I mean, like this is like $15 like hair extensions, but like I'm not ready to just part with $15. Like I want to do what I wanted to do. Like I have glow in the dark nail polish on. Like I'm really going for like the Halloween element of it, but it's going to be so much work and it might not even look good.
It's going to be great no matter what. You're going to have fun.
Thanks.
Everyone's going to be like, oh, Cass is so cute. Look at all this effort she put in.
Yeah, you're right. I guess.
I'm right.
What are you throwing away?
I'm throwing away motherfucking Jamie Spears.
Bye, bitch.
Bye, bitch. Britney Spears' father has been suspended from her conservatorship as of this week.
Later.
Which is another step. She has another hearing in November where the conservatorship could be suspended altogether. Mm-hmm. But Jamie Spears is no longer in charge of Britney Spears' personhood or her financial interest.
You love to see it, you know? Would love to see it. Did you watch the New York Times documentaries on Hulu about this?
I've watched one of them. I haven't watched the second one. I haven't had the time this week because I've been so occupied with Squid Game.
Yeah. The second one is pretty good because it's talking like from her like it's more about the details of what it has meant for her to be under a conservatorship and like how it has worked specifically from like a security like standpoint. It's pretty fucked up stuff. But I haven't touched the one on Netflix yet, though. I don't know why. For some reason, in my head, I'm like, "What is this random one from Netflix?" Like, I don't trust it for some reason.
I've heard it's a little bit more scandaloso, but that the New York Times one goes really into like what it means, the conservatorship, the security element, like the things she wasn't allowed to do. They cloned her phone. Yeah. Her security team gave her medicine that was forced upon her. It's fucked up. Yeah, what has happened to Britney Spears. And if one of the most famous people in the world can be thrown into an involuntary conservatorship, so can you. And that's why we should all care about conservatorship reform.
Yep.
Anyway, where can the people find you?
At Cass Cardenas on Instagram and Twitter. And you can also find me on the Nooner Podcast on the Smodcast Network. Where do people find you, Erica?
At Iconic Erica Curry on Instagram or at Gillygal on the Twitter.
You can
you do it.
Okay. And you can find this podcast on Instagram and Twitter at Trashy Trashy Pod, right? Or podcast?
Pod.
Jesus. Fucking first day. And we also have an email address, trashytrashypodcast@gmail.com. You can email in stories. We love when you guys do that, or email in why you're trash this week. We also love when you do that. We also have a website, trashytrashypodcast.com. Same deal. You can let us know why you're trash in this little comment box, and it takes you to our Instagram and all kinds of fun stuff. Please check it out. It was made by one of our listeners, which we appreciate so much. And we love you.
We love you, baby trash cans. Hey, Cass.
What's going on, girl?
Stay garbage.
You stay garbage, girl.
I will. Bye-bye.
Bye.